my mentor and trainer, will lead the carefully planned capacity development on Bambara groundnut starting from today to December 2025. I'm thankful to our consummate leader and mentor, Professor Michael Abertin, the head of the Genetic Resources Center, IITA, for his numerous guidance on all our efforts at scaling up research, commercialization, and use of the opportunity legumes. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the National Executive Council, and members of the society, I welcome you all with great honor and immense pleasure to this remarkable gathering. Today marks another very significant step in our collective effort to empower legume development as a pathway to enhancing human health and promoting sustainable livelihood. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. And next on the agenda will be the citation of the guest speaker, Dr. Faloye Benjamin. And this will be taken by Ms. Uri. Ms. Uri, it's open to you.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I am Uri Tasve. I'll be taking the citation for Dr. Benjamin Faloye. Faloye Benjamin has been the Field Bank Manager at the Genetic Resource Center of the International Institute for Tropical Agriculture, IITA Ibadan, since November 2016. He obtained his National Diploma and Higher National Diploma in Forestry Technology from Federal College of Forestry, Nigeria, and BSc in Agricultural Science Crop Production Option at Olabisi Onabanjo University, Ogun State. His MPhil and PhD at the School of Biosciences, University of Nottingham, Malaysia. Benjamin's research is focused on the conservation, utilization, and crop improvement, productivity and value of food crops, including the opportunity species. His PhD research is focused on drought stress in Bambara landraces and some parent genotypes from the Crops for the Future Research Center, UK. He has a strong interest in drought research, in building sustainable and resilient food systems by developing drought-tolerant, climate-resilient, and nutritious crop varieties. Benjamin is currently researching Bambara groundnut, cassava, and yam land races, working with other breeders in IITA in the identification of traits of importance that confer tolerance in the given crops to support IITA visions. Prior to joining the Field Bank team of the Genetic Resource Center, he has worked as a field technician and a senior research supervisor with responsibilities of morphological characterization of seed crops such as cowpea, maize, Bambara groundnut, jack bean, sword bean, and winged bean. He is currently working on the conservation, regeneration, and utilization of yam species, taro, plantain, banana, and cassava land races conserved in Gene Bank of IITA. Alongside his work strength and interest in plant genetic resources conservation, he has built strong research proficiency in the aspects of germplasm evaluation, diversity studies, and QTL analysis. He has gained numerous experiences in various training courses, workshops, conferences, and training in Gene Bank at a global level towards the management and the use of plant genetic resources. He has been engaging in teamwork, which has greatly fostered the improvement of plant genetic resources, PGR, especially in the aspect of collecting missions in the country and outside the shores of Nigeria. This has also increased the genetic base and diversity of crop germplasm in the IITA Gene Bank, while collecting missions experiences has broadened his knowledge of the causes of genetic erosion and the needs for the PGR conservation. Benjamin is blessed with a beautiful wife and 3 male children.
Dr. Faloye, you are welcome aboard to take the, the floor now. Father of boys. All the best, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
All protocol duly observed.
Good afternoon.
So I want to appreciate the people online and those that are with me here in the hall for joining this meeting.
Good afternoon, Dr. Faloye.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, without wasting much of our time, I want us to go to dive into what we have today because of our time, enhancing Bambara groundnut production through improved agronomy practices. So, like my citation, I just want to start from there by saying that the few years that I've spent in IIT has broadened my knowledge in conservation, in characterization, evaluation, and exploration of germplasm across countries in Africa and within the country. So this has given me this opportunity to stand before you this afternoon to present my experience, basically, that I've gained over years. So we talk of climate change, and this has been a recent song across the globe. And apart from climate change, we talk of population increase. These two issues mitigate production of crops across the globe. And it's a big challenge to crop production and to food sustainability. So how do we go about it? Because the world population is projected to be 9.8 billion in 2050. With the increment that we have in population, how do we meet with the global food demand and supply? Cole et al. Said, to meet global food demand and supply, there must be a 60% increase in food production. The astronomical projection of coal in food supply may not be feasible, especially in most sub-Saharan Africa, because of climate change and impact of droughts on both crops and agricultural land. Nigeria, especially, as a case study, may not meet up with this production demand because rain-fed agriculture is what we practice in most of the states of the country. And this is vulnerable to impact of climate change. So meeting with food security now require that need for more diversification in our food by the inclusion of underutilized legumes, which are also called opportunity crops. Really, they are opportunity crops because of what they contain, especially the known underutilized crops around us. So a typical underutilized crop that would be useful for food sustainability, we have these characteristics. Will be drought resilient. We have ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen. Will be nutritious and resilient. Will be naturally adapted to changing environment and will require less inputs. Therefore, Bambara groundnut is one of those typical opportunity crops that can be recommended based on these listed factors and it will bring a shift towards resilient and sustainable food security. So this is a picture of Bambara groundnut plants, and the other side you have Bambara groundnut seed. This seed is commonly found in the market whenever you go around your market near you. I'm referring to Nigeria now. You get this type of seed in the market. So morphologically, Bambara groundnut Vigna subterranea is herbaceous annual leguminous crop with creeping stems at ground level and trifoliate leaf structure. It has a breeding cycle between 90 and 150 days. Depends on the genotypes. So the center of origin of Bambara groundnut is northern part of Nigeria, The cultivation is widely spread across Sub-Saharan Africa countries and other parts of the world, such as Southeast Asia, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia. It is predominantly self-pollinated crop, but there's a story, the literature said that there are some crosses that can be made by a termite, by insects. So the morphology of Bambara groundnut, it has 3 types of growth habits: semi-bunchy, bunchy, and spreading type. So by your left hand side, by my left hand side and maybe your right hand side, you see the bunchy type, and you see at the base of that the leaves or petioles, you see the pods that was formed on that plant. I uprooted this to show this type of growth bunchy type. Then by the next slide shows the semi-bunchy type and the spreading type. So the spreading type, as you can see it, is a bit longer in petiole than the bunchy types and semi-bunchy types. So it is consumed in different countries, and in Indonesia, it is processed as snacks by deep frying, just like you have your snacks. Then they deep fry the fresh pods or green seeds. Then boiling of the fresh green seeds with salt and other ingredients is common in Nigeria. Likewise, a well-known food called okpa in Nigeria is prepared from Bambara groundnut seed, dry seed. So we develop products from Bambara groundnuts by collaborating with IITA Food and Nutrition Lab here in IITA, and we do this intentionally to see what products can we derive from Bambara groundnut, 1. Number 2, when we look at common food that we eat, we see that it's majorly flour. And we are just thinking of, okay, the cost of flour now is killing, is soaring every day. And we want to see what are those composites that we can make out of Bambara groundnut flour. So we venture into this collaborative work with Food and Nutritional Lab to see the potential of Bambara groundnut. So the products that was made from Bambara groundnut, like a composite products. So we have 5% of Bambara, 10% of Bambara, and 15% of Bambara, as the case may be, to that ratio to the flour. So we made spring grow, we made composite bread, as you can see. We made cupcake, we made cake, we made okpa, which is generally known, or let me say to large extent is known in Nigeria. So we made bean porridge of Bambara. Likewise, we made cookies, we made tidbits, we made chin-chin. So from these products, we were able to make 12 products from Bambara groundnut. The present and future food security can be enhanced by tapping into the potential inherent in this opportunity crop conserved in GeneBank. So Bambara groundnut value. So Bambara groundnut is grown for human consumption, although the biomass can be used for ruminant feed, and the mature seed are rich sources of crude protein with 23%, and fiber 5.5%, carbohydrates 64.4%, fats 6.5%, according to Tan et al. So the protein in Bambara have high lysine, which complements with cereals. The gross energy in Bambara groundnut is greater than that of other common pulses. It is referred to as complete or well-balanced food. So its consumption is predominant in Sub-Saharan Africa, but shows adaptation to diverse ecologies. Therefore, it is gradually spreading through Africa, South America, Asia, and other parts of the world. The crop can thrive in an environment where other crops cannot thrive due to poor soils, low moisture, like low rainfall, and abiotic threats that can be imposed to other leguminous crops. It is recommended for the vast arid and semi-arid regions of Africa where drought limits the cultivation of major crops. It is resilient to change in climate. Nevertheless, considerable genotypic variation exists in the germplasm. So the cultivation of Bambara groundnut, this is where we had this afternoon, and this is the essence of our coming to see how we can improve the cultivation of Bambara groundnut, especially across Africa and across the arid and semi-arid zones of the country. So the highest diversity of Bambara groundnut is found in Nigeria, as center of diversity is still in Nigeria. Its cultivation is commonly found with subsistence women farmers in arid and semi-arid regions who commonly use the harvest for food, not for sale. So the annual production value of Bambara groundnut in Africa is 0.3 million tons. It has an average yield of 0.85 tons per hectare, but has yield potential of over 3 tons per hectare. Nigeria is the highest producer in the world, with estimated annual production of 0.1 million tons, followed by Burkina Faso and Niger. So Bambara Groundnut Research Center in the world. To date, there's no research center for Bambara groundnuts. It's unfortunate, but as the crop is gaining relevance in terms of food security, in terms of its tolerance to drought, in terms of the nutrient values that this crop has, I believe that we are waking up to do more on Bambara groundnut research. So in the past, we are breeding, we have some institutes that work assiduously on Bambara research, like BAMLink. BAMLink with IIT had some grant that we work together in characterization and exploration and characterization of the germplasm. Then Cross for the Future Research Center at University of Nottingham, where I had my PhD, are working seriously on Bambara groundnut, on underutilized legume. They are working seriously on different research areas, but it was not being supported by the government of that country henceforth. So now we have in IIT, we have a very strong collaborative work with Cross for the Future, BAMLink in time past, where we engage in collection of germplasm, morphological characterization, and pre-breeding activities on Bambara and other related acquisition and underutilized legume crops. So that was why I think that was the opportunity I had for pre-breeding on Bambara groundnut to gain admission to Nottingham for my PhD study. So the picture showing the 3 domes that you can see at the center of that picture, that is Cross for the Future Center in Malaysia. So Genetic Resources Center of IIT conserves over 2,000 accessions land races collected from diverse countries in Africa, pre-breeding activities of cooking time, drought evaluation, genetic diversity, and trait discovery of some of the conserved Bambara groundnut is ongoing in Jimbank. Some parent materials useful for various breeding objectives have been identified. Various studies have shown that the land races are diverse in their genetic makeup. There is an increasing trend in Bambara groundnut request in Jimbank from various researchers from the research institutes, universities, and individual researchers across the world. This could explain the present and future potential of this crop. So the graph that you are seeing here shows the request of sample of accession that has been the trend of request. When you look at 2020, you see that it's just dragging from 2020 to 2021. People are waking up gradually, 2021 to 2022. But I want to say here that the slope as is increasing is showing the number of sample requested and or number of sample given. We have some requests that we cannot meet up with, like somebody asking for 1,000 seed per accession, asking for the whole germplasm. This is not possible because the little we are able to conserve, we need to equally distribute across the people that made this request. So Bambara groundnut in Jimbank, we have the largest collection in the world in IITA Jimbank, and we have diverse seed. As you can see, the seed tester colors that they are diverse. I just pick from this my study to show the variation in color seed coat. The experiences I want to share this afternoon could enhance the cultivation and yield improvement of Bambara groundnut. It could also form a basis for its future breeding for commercial purposes. This I prepared just based on the topic that I was given. My research work is drought tolerant in Bambara groundnut using multi-location trials in 2 years and GWAS studies to identify the traits that confers drought and yield across locations. So this afternoon, with the little experience that I have, I want to talk about the cultivation of Bambara groundnut. So we have in Nigeria, we have contrasting agroecological zones. So for instance, the places I carried out my studies, I have Ibadan site, I have Mokwa in Niger State, I have ABU, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, with this, their respective latitude and longitude. So the preliminary activities of my work is on 135 genotypes of Bambara groundnut. So I first of all took these samples and I did germination test to see the viability level of what I'm taking to the field. So then I was given that 160 accessions sorted for drought evaluation at 3 environments and GWAS studies. That is my study. But before this, I did what is called single seed descent. Single seed descent is just like a accession purification to get the different, each accession is believed that each seed in accession, they are different in this sense that the places that you collected them, maybe from farmer's field or from market that was collected that you explored them from, there's high tendency that you have seed mix-up. And when you have seed mix-up, you collect it and you tag it, accession number. This is what I want to see if really they are pure or not. So I need to do accession purification before setting out for my real experiment. So the single seed descent is done in this way. The number of seed that I got was 20 per accession for 160 accessions. So I planted them out and I tagged the healthy looking plant per accession, healthy looking plant on the field. So this plant was tagged and DNA sample was made from it for DNA. So the same tag plant was monitored, was pampered till harvest. And after the harvest, I now multiply the seed that I got from that one single plant. That is single seed descent. So sampling for DNA for genetic diversity study, maintenance of single seed plants to maturity, rapid multiplication of this single seed descent for it to be enough for my evaluation. So from the 160, I was able to harvest 135 accessions that went for rapid multiplication. But what I gained from this single seed descent experience was that there was one particular accession, TVSU 1018, that we have in Jimbank from where I was given the seed, that had two different plants, as you can see. Plant A with a broader leaf, plant B with a narrower leaf. So this was identified in that 135 accessions. And this is the seed that we have in the room, in the coaster of that same particular 1018. So you can see that the plant A is that one that is a deeper brown, then or deep brown, then plant B is the light one. Although they look the same, they look almost the same morphologically, but when it got to the field, there was difference in the leaf shape and leaf size. So despite its impressive nutritional potential, Bambara groundnut possesses some challenges constituting its low local utilization and cultivation. The first of the challenges is low yield. You know, the yield is based on the genotype, the environment, and that was the reason why we are addressing this cultivation this afternoon. So how do we improve the yield of Bambara groundnut with a sound management practice? So this has caused low market availability due to inefficient farming, poor soil and weather. Yield of Bambara groundnut is low. There is no access to high quality seed. Land races are still cultivated. Rain-fed agriculture is common practice in Nigeria, and it is vulnerable, like I said earlier, to impact of climate change. Cultivation of Bambara groundnut should critically consider the agronomic practices, diverse agroecologies, and the extreme weather conditions of different zones and genotypic differences in crop germplasm. So we can say that it's not one carve fit all for Bambara groundnut. There are a lot of factors you need to consider when you are planning Bambara groundnut cultivation. So I just want us to see this background information with Nigeria diverse agroecologies and its effects in cultivation. The prospect and potential of Bambara groundnut will not let us drop Bambara groundnut because it could strengthen the weak value chain. Then what are the advantages of the conserved land races to science community? Food and nutrition security. How can Bambara groundnut help to mitigate climate change effects and food challenge in sub-Saharan Africa? These are the food for thought for all of us. So the production, there are a lot of challenges like we want to mention now, like edaphic and other environmental conditions such as soil structure, texture, soil moisture, micro and macro nutrients deficiency, cessation of rainfall, high temperature can also have negative impact to crop yield. All this must be put into consideration in breeding for better yield. So basic practices that could enhance Bambara groundnut production: the site selection matters, the land history matters. The land that is full of trees, Bambara groundnut will not grow well, will not produce under trees. Then when the field is full of termites, termites may not affect your plant earlier in the early period until when it produces pod and you are thinking of few weeks to harvest. Then you get this problem that the termite has finished the pod. So then obnoxious weeds like striga can affect Bambara production. Then soil nutrients. So you have to do soil nutrient tests if you are going on large scale production. Then your land preparation matters a lot. Good land preparation still suggests good yield. Then genotype performance, feed management, weed management, timely planting and harvest. So we need to have a good land that is slopey or gentle, accessibility of the farm. Then we need to do away with forest trees and grassland. And if you are going on grassland, you need to spend on that on such land. The type of soil matters, soil pH matters. So choose the best site available to get the best crop performance. Avoid termite feed to prevent termite activities on pods. Avoid infested land or field. Avoid field with striga or other types of parasitic plants. So it's soil sample test, you can do that. Then choosing the soil type. So from my study, I'll be putting my study as a case study in this presentation to gain a better understanding of what I'm discussing. We cannot just talk in vague. And that is the essence of the little experience I have in this crop. So the soil type that you want to plant your Bambara groundnut on matters. So in preparing for your planting, the best soil for Bambara groundnut is sandy loam. But if there is no other soil, if there is no sandy loam soil, I'm not saying that this is what you must have, but Bambara groundnut can still do well on other soil. But this is the best soil for Bambara groundnut. So, for instance, in Mokwa, you can see the soil sample that I have in the 3 locations. And the last one that I want to say is the one that is brown, that is light brown. That is clayish soil type, clayish soil type. So the differences in soil nutrient as found in the 3 locations is shown below. So you can see the nutrient composition in different locations of my research work. I have Ibadan in 2020 and 2021. I have in Zaria, I have in Mokwa, likewise in 2019, 2020. So you can see the variation in soil nutrients. For instance, when you see the calcium in Zaria, you see that is almost nothing. So if it to give you a clue on what is going on the soil that you want to plant. So the fact that you have a good soil structure, you still need to see the soil nutrients available for your crop. So land preparation. Bambara groundnut cultivation requires good land preparation, such as ridges and bed. So the women that are planting at homestead farming, they are so wise that they plant it along yam mounds. They plant it beside yam. When you cultivate your yam field, you make ridges, and that ridges, they just drop the Bambara groundnut seed around the yam stand. So the same thing is what we are preaching here, that you need to prepare your ridges for Bambara. You need to make a bed for your Bambara to perform excellently. There's need for functional tractor if you are going big, and tractor drawn implement for farm operation. So plowing can be done once or twice depending on the density of weed. So you can see the land preparation slides. Then it goes on like that. Let us go fast. So this is an example of one of my field, and this is an example of a well-prepared and reached plot of land meant for Bambara groundnut. So we prepare our land with 0.75 meter apart. So, and you plant your seed 25 to 30 centimeter distant to each other. As you can see from the picture, I just put 30 centimeter ruler. So ensure there is enough moisture before planting. Bambara groundnut can stay for 2 weeks in the soil if the soil is very dry. If there's no moisture and you are planting by faith that it will rain tomorrow, like what we are experiencing now, that everywhere is just cold, there's no rain. If you have planted Bambara 2 weeks ago, you still meet your seed on the ridge, there won't be any germination. So it can only gut rotting or stay there like as you have put them. So, but it is very important that you have moisture before you plant. So planting in dry soil could lead to uneven germination, poor crop performance, and low yield. it is advisable to check the viability of the seed before field establishment. So weed management, we have broadleaf, we have grasses, and we have sedges. So method of weed control, chemical, manual, mechanical, depends on weed types, age, and population. So these are the chemicals that you can use for a large-scale Bambara groundnut production. So another problem, apart from the location, apart from weather, apart from all those things in Bambara groundnut, this is peculiar to some of underutilized legume. Let me say this, is the photoperiodism. So photoperiodism is the developmental response of plants or any organism to the relative length of day and night. So this happens in Bambara groundnut, that the flowers, when uninterrupted darkness exceeds critical night length, then you have short day plants. And the other one is when you have long nights, and that is critical. So when you have this, it affects Bambara, it affects the yield. And what you will have is the assimilate will just partition into the vegetative part of the plant. That is, you will be having a lot of vegetative leaves. It will produce a lot of wheat, and it will not produce pod. And it's always happen at the beginning of flowering to podding stage, that at the end of the day, you will not have yield of these plants. So the yield performance will be very low. So another environmental factors, like we have discussed, the rain intensity and frequency. Between the time that you plant your Bambara groundnut, you've got to have a good moisture on your field. If you are planting under rain-fair condition, the soil moisture at the growth cycle. So, for instance, in my study, like I said, that I'll be chipping in some of the slides from my study. You see these two genotypes or two accessions, as the case may be. One is having a lot of leaves as at the left side of this man that is holding it, while at his right hand he had another one that is having good number of pods after harvest. So that is what we are discussing in the previous slide that I'm showing now, that the genotypes responded differently to photos. They are photosensitive differently. So agronomic requirements, you have yield gap across locations. Yes. So you will need to have a genotype that can perform, that have mega performance across location. For instance, if after this program, after this meeting, we have people that is listening to me from the north, and we have somebody in the south, and we have somebody from southwest that they want to collect Bambara groundnuts, it must be addressed separately based on genotype, except if you want to give them a mega genotype that can perform across location. Then their soil nutrients differs, soil structure differs, organic and inorganic fertilizer differ, rainfall differs, planting time differs. So efficient feed management. So if it's not efficient, we have yield loss due to poor germination. We call something earthing up. It is a method used in Bambara groundnut and peanut. And what does that mean? At the time after the plant has flowered and is starting to turn to pod, you will need to do earthing up. Earthing up, we put light soil on the plant so that it can produce very well, and the pods can go down. But we have exceptional case on some genotypes that will not go down, that they will produce their pods at the surface of the soil. So there's an advantage and there's disadvantage of such genotype that will not go down to the soil. We call the one that goes down to the soil geocarpic features. So there are some that will not do that, a geocarpic features. So the geographic genotypes, we need more soil to be put on the surface of the peg of the pod to produce very well. But geographic, even if you put, it will not do more than what it's doing. But the advantage of such genotype is that it is very easy to harvest. Very easy to harvest. But the disadvantage is the insects can attack the pod when it's getting dried. So another point that we need to put at the back of our mind is delay in harvest. When your Bambara is due for harvest and you did not harvest on time, it will begin to decay, to deteriorate, and some may even begin to germinate inside the pod. So, and that will reduce the market value or the nutrition value of your harvest. So we have features of early and late maturing genotypes. Number one, the early maturing genotype will flower early, and the late maturing genotype will flower late. That is one. Number two, the early maturing genotype, they are almost always bunchy. They have bunchy features. So a single Bambara granite, this is what you are seeing, can produce as much as 200 pods per plant based on genotype. As you can see, the right side of the whitish pod colored genotype. See, when this harvest is delayed for like 1 more week, you have some of the seed begin to deteriorate. As you can see at the center of that, beside the root of that plant, you see that there are some that have begin to deteriorate. So early planting is very important, and early harvesting. So what you do is that when you get to your field, you can just open up the plant base to pick 1 or 2 pods to check the status of maturity, and that could trigger you. Maybe you need to harvest, or you need to stay for some time before you harvest, so that you not lose the yield of your crop. So I'm just being skeptical to present this recommendation from my study, because I did a drought study, but I'm just thinking of showing you the possibilities of getting material across different locations in Nigeria, and maybe a location across the Africa that have similar agroecological zones, just like Nigeria. So there are some accession with low yield reduction index. So this shows the low yield index is showing the differences between the weight of harvest from well water and water stress. So just comparison. So that is what you have here, and that is best performing accession under well watered condition. This is what we have here. So we can, the part that I studied drought, my study was looking at drought. There are 2 extremes. We have those that can do very well under drought condition, and we have those that can do very well under well water condition. So those that can do perform very well under well water condition can still be recommended to the places that they do not have water as a problem. So these are the essence of this study, and that was the reason why I'm presenting this slide. So from my study, I got these superior genotypes that perform very well across location. I have S19-3, and this was brought from Cross for the Future. It's a parent genotype that was shared across partners. Then from our accession that we conserve in GenBank, we have the rest of accessions or genotypes. So you could see below it, you see those 2 white tester colors harvested from well water and harvested from water stress. You could see the seed pattern, or the shrinkage of the seed under water stressed although they produce very well, but you know, there was a shrinkage in the seed. So in conclusion, or let me quickly run over what I've been saying over a few hours, over a few minutes ago. You need to make your land selection flat terrain. You need to do soil. Your soil type should be sandy loam, or if you don't get that, that is not a problem, but that is the best soil. If you have option, that is the best soil for Bambara. Land preparation, you should do the bed form. Planting stock, confirm the viability before you go to the field so that you not lose your money. Seed rate is 1 seed per hole. Planting distance is 25 to 30 centimeter. Planting depth is 3 to 5 centimeter deep. Earthing up is very important, but not necessary if you don't mind. Pesticide application, applying herbicide to control weed before seed emergence, 1 to 2 days after planting. Photoperiodic sensitive should be considered too. Genotype differences should be considered. So this is one of my feed during seed multiplication, and the one that is sitting beside me is Ayo Federman from Malaysia, from Indonesia. So few things that I still want to say is the number of days to flower matters, the number of days to 50%, the number of pods per plant, weight of pod per plant, number of seed per plant, weight of seed per plant. These are the variables that is very important for breeding of Bambara granules, and this is what the breeder should consider when thinking of breeding across any location. So the recent studies in Gene Bank have been in Bambara have been looking at drought and yield research using environmental trials and GWAS. GWAS is genome-wide association studies. Then genetic diversity study using diversity array technology. Then cooking time, we have been looking at cooking time. Then nutrient analysis, some genotypes with outstanding potentials were identified, just like mine, from the above studies. So these are the great men that I've been leaning on for over years. Starting from O.Y. Kwan. O.Y. Kwan is a Malay and is the lab manager in the University of Nottingham, Cross for the Future. So she has been helpful in my research. Then Dr. Yatomi is a seed bank manager from where I got my seed, and he's been guiding on the field activities across locations. Then I failed to put somebody here, Emily Iwu. She is the secretary of the unit, and she's been helpful in making sure that all the activities on the field are well monitored by maybe sign your TA, prepare everything that you need to go on with your field work to make sure that everything works fine. There, President Kendabi, I met him at UK University of Nottingham, where I spent a month-long training with. Is working on Bambara photoperiodism. Festo Masawe is my primary supervisor in Nottingham, and I've gained a lot, and he has spent all his life working on Bambara granite and working mostly on underutilized legume, but major on Bambara granite. He works with Nottingham, and he works with Cross for the Future. Michael Abertin is my secondary supervisor and is my big boss in Gene Bank. And I'm happy to meet this man because there had been a lot of challenges. For instance, when I planted my crop on 2018-19, there was COVID. I could not access my plant in locations. And I went to him to say that I will travel on public transport. He said that I should give him some time, and he went around and he came back to me that, Ben, don't try that. It's risky to do that. And I succumbed. So I wasted that first year. The second year, I planted and herdsmen went to my field to ravage everything almost at the time to harvest. But this man kept me going, that saying that I will achieve what I want to achieve. And I want to thank him today that I achieved my vision. Then Sean Mayers is head of breeding in ICRISAT. He works he is the team leader for Cross for the Future, and his research is on Bambara. You can search him, it's on Bambara and oil palm. So I met him in UK 2016, and he put me through all what I need to know. And we met also in Malaysia to start my PhD work. So now he's in the head of breeding in ICRISAT. So on this note, I want to thank everyone present. I want to thank my colleagues that we work together. I want to thank all the PhD students on opportunity crops that we work together in IT and across the globe. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much for that detailed presentation. It was quite insightful, and you've taken us through the practical, I'll call it practical hands-on on what we should do on Barbara as the case may be. For me, I want to talk about these 5 key points that I gained from your presentation. One is that you are saying we are faced with a lot of climate change and rapid population growth, and then Bambara comes in as a rescue, given that it is highly resilient. Then you also emphasize on the nutrition and economic value of Bambara groundnut, and then you were able to showcase to us the diverse food products that International Institute of Tropical Agriculture was able to make from Bambara. Then this is charging all of us to know that Bambara is all-rounder. Name the kind of food you want to prepare, and then you can always include your Bambara as part of that meal. So telling us that there's a high value addition potential for this Bambara groundnut. Society.
Either through road safety.
Hello. So with all the points being said, we want to open the floor for questions. Dr. Faloye had been able to take us through a lot of things that we need us asking questions on, which I'm very sure a lot of people out there are. In fact, I've seen a lot of hands raised there that are ready to ask questions. So we will start with that now. We want suggestions. We want other experiences on what people have done on the field, and they want to be able to gain knowledge across board. So I'll start picking one by one here. I have Madam, pardon me for the not putting the titles. I'll just call the names as it is. So pardon me if we are prof here and I'm calling just the names. So I'll start with Madam Awa Abubakar. She has raised her hand. Oh, you can unmute now and ask your question, ma'am. Hello, Madam Awa Abubakar. I also have Afsat Musa here. You can unmute and ask your question, please. Afsat Musa. Okay. So as not to waste our time, I'll go on to Chiwendu Eze. Are you there?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody.
My name is
afternoon.
Ugochwendu. I appreciate the lecture by Doctor here. My question is this. I've heard about so much about the nutritional value of Bambara nuts, but I want to ask, is the tester, that's the seed coat of Bambara nut, toxic? Does it contain any toxic substance? Thank you very much.
So, following, permit me to say we'll take about 4 questions. Then you answer that. Then we can go to the next questioner then you can take it as a group rather than answer one by one. So I'm going to call on the next person now. Fatih Abdul, please unmute and ask your question or make your suggestions.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Mine is not a what the facilitator has just facilitated to us about the Bambara nut crops. Then my request here is that please can we have the presentation through our emails, the copy of presentation. We are requesting for the copy of the presentation through our emails, please.
Okay,
Hello,
let me quickly answer the presentation to be sent to everyone.
Okay,
yes, we have
you.
that. We have that. Don't worry, we'll send the presentation. We'll send the presentation. It won't be a problem.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Adeyanju Abdulhakim, you are on now. You can ask your question now.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. My question is this.
Good afternoon, we can hear you.
Okay. With the presentation, I am very moved, but I don't think the seed are available in the market. Is the seed available in the market for planting? That's my questions. Especially in the Southwest.
Thank you.
Especially in the Southwest.
It's taken. Okay, your question is taken. Jamila Garuba, you can ask a question now. Hello. Can I have Mr. Francis ask his question now? Mr. Francis.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, we are on. Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I want to first of all the presenter of this program. Those of us from the South to know if there's any special laws, because he mentioned about environment, the northern part and west. So I don't know if just go into the stuff with any seed we see in the market. Thank you.
Dr. Ofalo, did you get that question, that last person? Did you get the question?
Yes, I struggle to hear him. Maybe he was asking for location.
Yeah, I was also struggling. Oh. Should he ask again?
No, I can try. I will try.
Okay, so let's answer this first question, then we can move on from there. Thank you.
So from the from all the questions asked, I see 3 questions.
Yeah.
So the first one was asking for seed coat color. That does it have any effect on consumption? Yes, to a large extent, and no, to a large extent. When you have there are some studies that have shown that there's a positive correlation between dark seed coat color and total phenolic compound. So what you are having in those Bambara granules or underutilized legume is ANF. Why you will not want to eat it? What causes? But there are some advantages. The first advantage is that when you plant it, it's a defense mechanism on the field. That is, you plant Bambara granite and you plant your cowpea beside, you see that insect is affecting cowpea and is leaving Bambara granite is because of these phytochemicals. So another advantage of this is that I've said that it has positive correlation between dark seed and seed color with phenolic compound. It has antioxidants. That is the advantage, and is anti-tumor. So, but we cannot say because it have antioxidants and anti-tumor, we consume it without thinking of the ANF that can still affect the availability of essential nutrients that is binding. So it's advantageous as antioxidants and it's advantageous as anti-tumor consumption. So now when you get to the market, like the last person that asked me that can we get into in the market, when you get to the market, you always see the cream color. So that cream color have less of phytochemicals, because of color, because it has been proven that the color correlates with the phenolic compound. So it means that that one has a low phenolic compound, like flavonoids, like tannins. That is one. Number two, the study that we conducted, we have found that, and you could believe, you agree with me, for those that are living in the north, you see that these cream genotypes are well known in the northern part of the country, and it is most consumed, or most, you find it in the market. It's common in the market. So any part of Nigeria that you go that they know Okpa or they know Bambara nut, you will always see it in cream color. But in gene bank, we have diverse colors, which are important for crops improvement. So the last question says, is the seed available in the market for planting? Like I said, yes, it's available. But, when you are doing research, if it is research-based, it will be very important that you get a genotype that is numbered, that have accession number, so that you can come again to ask for such if it performed very well. And when you are being given, the characterization data is available at your request. If you request for characterization data of what you are taking, it will be given to you so that you will know the type of material that you are taking. And I still wish that in the near future that we have breeding program for this crop, so that we can improve all the results that we have, that each of the students that have worked on Bambara in gene bank has, the output of those results can be parent line for crosses in Bambara groundnut, that we address the yield, address all what we are saying in the challenges that we've found in Bambara groundnut. So like the material that I have, I've been planted across location. I've been planted for rapid seed multiplication. And the first cycle of the yield was superb. So there is still hope for the development of Bambara groundnut. There is hope. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So we'll take another round of questions now. Mr. Toffa, you are on, sir. You can ask the question now.
All right. Thank you very much for the good presentation. And I just have two questions and then one other comment. My first question is, what is the fertilizer requirement for Bambara groundnut? The reason why I asked this question is, I came from northern Nigeria, and farmers over here believe that there is no need to apply any fertilizer to the crop. Just like groundnut, that's the most belief with our local farmers. So what is the fertilizer requirement for the crop? I saw that in the presentation, you added 20 grams per stand of NPK. Is that the recommendation, or is there any other recommended rate for the fertilizer? And then secondly, you mentioned about the water stress as one of the major issue with regard to the crop yield. So I don't know whether you also have an idea of the best planting time with respect to the different accessions you have. And lastly, what can you suggest as limitations to the study you carried out? Thank you very much. And these are my questions.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Mr. Okoro Perpetual, you can ask your question now. Okoro Perpetual. Stanley Uwachuku, please. Unmute and ask your
Hello.
question. Oh, okay. Okoro Perpetual. Okay.
Yes,
Go
I'm
ahead,
on.
please. Go on, please.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Faloye Benjamin, for the good presentation. I would like to know the best pH for the soil because I didn't get it very well while you were speaking. And I also want to know the planting distance, as you were mentioning. I didn't get that very well as well. I would also want to know for mounds, because in Ebonyi State, the land preparation is mostly mounds, and then almost like zero because they turn it for rice planting. But in this case, we want to enter into Bambara granite. How do we make, what is the planting distance for mounds? In as much as you said, bed is the best, but the kind of land we have there allows for mounds, mostly for planting of crops, apart from rice, that you can have flat or zero cultivation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Stanley Uwachuku, you are on now.
I'm asking from the point of the user, a user, not a researcher in terms of agronomy. Are there programs for utilization of this crop? I am an entrepreneur and I have factories for processing nuts. And I've done some little trials for different products using these nuts, but they are very, very expensive in the market. That's one. To source, that's one. Secondly, I don't know if there is maybe a program for utilization or adoption in terms of processing and product development that somebody can leverage on with your institute to see how we can drive the adoption of this crop. I think that's where my question comes in. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Adeza Azan Bello, you are on now.
Hello, can I answer these three?
Okay, go ahead, please.
Please let me answer the three questions so that I will not forget.
Okay, let me wait.
Okay, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay, like somebody asked for fertilizer requirements. You know, Bambara granules will not need fertilizer, as especially the nitrogen, because it fixes nitrogen itself. But the challenge is within the diverse genotypes, they fixes nitrogen than each other. So there's variation in their adaptability, but generally they adapt to almost every environment. So when you are now thinking of putting fertilizer, I will recommend that I will answer two questions at once. Somebody was asking what is the planting distance and maybe the planting depth. Yeah, the planting depth is is between 3 and 5 cm. Don't let it be deeper than that. And the planting distance is 25 to 30 centimeter. So when you want to apply your fertilizer as a farmer, let me teach you what you do. So you still use NPK, but the NPK that you are going to use is 10, 15, 15. It's not 15, 15, 15. It's not NPK of 15, 15. Use 10 of nitrogen, P of 15, and and K of 15. So when you want to apply your fertilizer, you take 150 kg per hectare. It's good. It will go. Now, how do you measure it? Just use a match box. A match box filled, not heap, filled. Then apply it at the center of two plants. Dig a very small hole and apply that batch of fertilizer at the center of the two plants. So that is one. Number two, when do you apply? Apply before flower so that it will utilize the nutrient that you are applying very well, and apply when you have moisture. That is two questions taken. Then I've taken care of that planting distance and planting depth. I've taken care of fertilizer. Then somebody asked of months that I said it in my presentation that our mothers that plant this that that we found in the rural area, they are so wise that they plant it on yam mounds. So when you have your mounds being prepared, it's good for you. You are good to go. The only challenge is that it will be very difficult for you to calculate your yield per hectare. But even with that, you can plant around the month. Number one, if you are planting other crop, maybe Bambara now is a companion crop to the major crop that you are planting on that month, it will still help to retain some nitrogen in that soil. So you are not losing anything at all by planting on the moon. You are rather gathering nutrients for your next planting on that same plot of land. So that's another one. Another one says program processing, product development, and food and so what I can say here is that Bambara groundnut is not like that crop that has gained attention of the investors or attention of even breeders or attention of processors. So with this call is a wake-up call for all the investors that can invest in Bambara, that can invest in the production, that can invest in the food processing, that can invest in research on Bambara groundnut. So to date, like I said in my presentation, that we have centers that worked on Bambara like BAMLink in the past, BAMLink Cross for the Future, but they are not doing that really like what they were doing before because of funding. So funding is the limitation to anything that you want to talk of about this crop. But I think as we are moving forward, I know that there will be funding for every aspect of improving Bambara groundnut for food security. Thank you. So lastly, I want to say that about the nutrition, I think we can collaborate with IITA Food and Nutrition Unit. Maybe they will develop a concept note to see what aspect of nutrition do we want to talk about and who do you want to address in your nutrition. Maybe you want to address infant food, for instance. Maybe you want to address, I said in my presentation that this crop is mostly found with women farmers, that they plant it for consumption. And this is a wise decision. When they farm it for consumption, it means that they are giving their babies good nutritious food. So you can take your concept from there, and you can take your concept from, okay, there's a need for inclusion of underutilized or opportunity crops into our food. Then that can be a concept that you can develop. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think part of the question is kids here was somebody was interested in knowing the limitation to this particular study you carried out. I think he's interested in what limitation you encountered. You've not answered that, sir.
Okay, thank you. I forgot. I didn't write it. Okay, the limitation to cultivation now. The limitation to cultivation is number one, the planting time. If you don't get your planting, as regards to anybody that wants to venture into cultivation, if you don't get your planting time right, and somebody asked that question, I failed to respond. Now he was asking for planting time. It is be very important to know where you reside. Like if you reside in the part of the northern side, then the planting time is earlier than what we have in Southwest. The planting time in the northern part is June, July. Once you miss that, you may not get it again. You may have your plants flourishing, and the cessation of rain at the flowering stage and at the pod formation will not let it survive it. So That is one. Another solution to that is that we are developing drought-tolerant genotypes. But the problem is number of seed that can be shared. There should be a rapid multiplication of seed of such a genotype that can thrive across environments. So until when that is done, we cannot recommend that, okay, come next tomorrow or tomorrow, come and take the seed that you plant in any of your location. That is another challenge or limitation. So if we can get enough seed that can go, the seed system of underutilized legume is very weak. So, and this is the major problem. The first problem is that there is a limited research to identify parent lines. Thankful to Cross for the Future, they have identified a lot of parent lines that can address photoperiodism, that can address yield, that can address nutrients. Different types of research have been done, and we too in IT, we are doing similar thing to identify outstanding genotype that can address different factors that in research. So if this is done, then we need to multiply the seed rapidly so that it can go across the requesters. Thank you. I don't know if I've answered that question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm going to the chat box now, and I have people have dropped comments and questions there. The first one I'm going to read is from Olaleyola Jumoke, and he's saying, thank you, Dr. Ben, for this presentation of Bambara groundnut. Well, while improved agronomic practices are key to enhancing production, I'm concerned that yield improvement alone may not drive widespread adoption without corresponding efforts in market development and farmer incentives. I believe that if consumer demand for Bambara groundnut were higher, it would naturally drive increased supply and farmer interest. But currently, what we do know about the actual levels of adoption from both the farmer and consumer perspective. Even if more improved varieties are released, will they be taken up? Now, a question is coming here now. What's the maturity period for Bambara groundnut? And another one is saying, to what extent are the differences in leaf area size among Bambara genotypes for drought tolerance? I think we do want to answer that before I go on and pick people that have raised their hand for questioning again.
Pardon. The first one, is he or she asking questions or?
It's more of a comment that even if we have new varieties, what are the adoption rates based on the usage of the Bambara across board?
Okay, let me quickly say something like comment to, or maybe I should pass a comment to that. The comment that I want to make to that is that, like the Bambara, we are just waking up to see that we need diverse food on our table. We need more food than bread. Even if we are eating bread, we need a plant-based sources of food. So that is what we are agitating here. We are saying food security and we are calling population increase, but even in our household consumption, apart from these farmers that plant this crop and they use it, have we been using it in our household? So with the nutrients that is composed in opportunity crops, it's a wake-up call to everyone that we should desist from Indomie, we should desist from all those, I will not call it jargon, but God has blessed us with nutrient.
I can't see anything. No. Is it network?
Please, can you all hear what he's saying?
We can't
I can't
hear
hear
you.
too. As
We can't hear again.
Same here.
I can't hear.
Can't hear you. It will be sorted.
Network is
I've
bad.
already
We can't hear anything anymore.
Yeah, it will be
Also,
sorted. Hold on, please. A message has
Okay.
been sent to them. It will be sorted out now.
There's no more audio, please.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now. We
Yes.
didn't hear
yeah,
the
we can
last
hear you.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me
We
now?
can hear you now.
Okay, I don't know where you stopped hearing me. So I was talking of maturity, that the crop matures between 90 and 150 days. Do you hear that?
No,
We're
not
not
hearing
hearing.
that. No.
No,
Okay,
we
so
didn't hear that.
so can you hear me now, please?
Yes,
Yes,
loud
we
and
can.
clear
Yes,
now.
we can. We can hear
Okay,
you
the
now.
maturity, the plant cycle is between 90 and 150 days, based on depends on genotype. Then another question, the last question was asking if there's any correlation between leaf area or leaf size and drought. Yes, when you have the same genotype planted across location where you have a good rainfall, or the rain or the weather supports the growth or the cultivation, you have your leaf size fine. But when it get to drought environment, that doesn't, is a kind of a mechanism. We call it escape mechanism. That is, it will quickly produce before it will have a rapid development before the onset of that drought. It's like you are sensing that something will happen, so it will produce. So these are the genotype that is a bunchy type. So they will produce a very small leaf. But even with that, if you compare it with all other genotype, you still see that what you are seeing in a well water environment, you will still see that is still the one that we champion as far as that leaf area is concerned. For instance, if you have a particular genotype that have a broad leaf and you plant it under well water condition, and you have the one that is narrow leaf genotype, when they get to the drought environment, the one that is having broadleaf will still perform in terms of broadleaf than the one that has narrow leaf. So that is the correlation.
We are back to the
okay.
We are back to the question.
We can't hear you, please.
We are back to the question now. For those raising their hand for question, to ask that question. Oluwakemi Bilola, you are on now. You can unmute and ask your question. Tabitha Agabi.
Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yes, ma'am. Well done, doctor. God will continue to give you strength. So concerning the Bambara groundnut, which area, which type of soil can we plant it on? Because my own area here is southwest in Ogun State. We have a lot of land, but some land are of stoning and red soil. That's my question.
Okay, thank you. Oyedeji Fausat Fumilayo, you are on, ma.
Good afternoon, the whole house. Thank you,
afternoon.
Doctor, for presentation. My question is, I too am from Southwest, from Osun State. So for we at the Southwest, can we plant it on in the sack? If yes, then how do we plan the watering? For me, if I want to try it, I want it to be maybe during the dry season. So I will not rely on the natural rainfall. So how can I plan the watering for super products? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma. I have Savita Clothing here. You can ask your question, please. Okay, Adiza Azan Bello, you can unmute and ask your question now. Adiza
Good
Azan
afternoon,
Bello.
sir. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the lovely presentation. My question is, I'm thinking of after harvest infestation. Is there any infestation that, like the beans we have, is there anything similar to that with the Barbara nuts?
Okay. Next is thank you for the question. Thank you. Adiza, okay, Julian Achu. Now, you can unmute and ask your question. Julian Achu. Okay, Adeyoju Abdulhakim.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. My question is that from your research, because I saw that you compare 3 areas. Which areas is given more yield? The one you planted in the south, in the southwest, and that of the north. Which one have the comparative in terms of yield, comparative advantage in terms of the yield? Thank you.
Okay. Thank
Hope you
you.
are hearing me.
Yes, we had that. It was loud and clear. Christoph, Dr. Faloye, do you want me to? You do want to answer those ones before we go on?
I can try.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
So I'm answering two people here now with this same answer. Somebody said that she want to plant in Ogun State with red soil, stony. Like I said, that there is no soil that is not that you cannot use for Bambara. As long, okay, let me say this: as long as you can grow cassava, as long as you can grow yam on your farm, yam cassava too is a hardy plant. As long as you can, cassava can survive in such land, Bambara groundnut will survive in this sense that you will make mounds or ridges for your cassava. Likewise, the same thing can be used. It is being intercropped by the staples. When you can use Bambara groundnut intercropped with your staples. So that is fine. It will do well. Then another one is trying to plant in a sack. This is fantastic. It's very good. At least if we have been doing this, there'll be less problem with our food system. So if you can do this, in fact, we are having similar thing that we are doing in our screen house now. And a screen house is just a shelter house that you can control what the water that you put into your plant. So, but what I will advise you is that when you are preparing your soil, you should prepare sandy loam soil for your plant so that it will not stick. The sack cannot extend, cannot expand. So you will need to put sandy loam so that, and you water regularly. I don't know if I've answered that. Then post-harvest challenges. Bambara groundnut is fond of insect infestation, especially when you plant a sweet type, the type that insects will like. They will bore hole into the seed and they deface the quality. So what you have to do is that before you take it to store for storage, you dry it very well. You shell it. After shelling, you clean it. Then, if it is possible, if it is a large quantity of harvest, you will need to fumigate. You will need to fumigate just like your beans. You need to fumigate. When you have done that, it's safe. So that is the answer to that.
There's still one question. Which area gets the best yield in your research?
Yes. Which location performs best? Is that?
Which location? Yes. Gives the best yield.
The best location I can recommend is the northern part, but is the middle belt. For instance, the Mokwa outstands the performances. I have good yield in Mokwa, and you know Mokwa soil. But even if you are planting in Niger, which is centered in Mokwa, if you are planting in Niger, you need to follow the time of planting. When you plant July, first week in July in Mokwa, it performs very fine.
Okay, thank you, sir. We are going back to the chat box because we still have a lot of questions there. So one here is saying, why do we have to use improved seeds than the local one we have? Why do we have to use improved seeds? Two is that, can we preserve the improved seed to plant it in the subsequent year? And another one is saying, thank you so much, doctor. Please, what's the best time of planting in the Southeast and how do we get the right seed? We are really interested in venturing into Bambara groundnut cultivation. Another one is also saying, thank you for the training. Bayelsa State is 2 times farming season, dry and wet season. It means we can farm 2 times in a year, but our main request is the availability of seeds. Please, how can we get the seed? They want us to drop contact number and then they can pick it up from there. That's all I think. Okay. Everything is bordering on where we can get the seed for planting. There's another question that very says, how many minutes or hours can it take when cooking? We want to chip in the research idea here. Okay. Wait for you to answer that, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks everyone for these questions. The first one says that, how do we get improved seed? I think, is there improved seed? Do I get that question?
Yeah, why are you emphasizing on improved seed? Are they better than their local seeds?
Okay.
And then if they are improved, how do they get them on a yearly basis?
Okay, now what we are saying here is that, you know, this local seed that you have in your locality is still the same thing that we conserve. In fact, we have more than you. We have those things more than you because like I said, we have over 2,000 accessions. It means varieties that we are keeping in our store. So we have more than you. For that reason, the reason why what we are now saying is that what you are planting, their land races, and what we want to recommend, if we are able to get enough sufficiency that can go around, is those ones that we have tested. So now we have, out of 135 varieties, let me use that varieties now, because so for your understanding, for your deeper understanding, when we have tested 135 across different locations, and out of it, we have gotten like 2 or 3 genotypes that perform best, or that perform, yes, across all the locations. It will be better than what you are planting. Do you get? So that was the reason why but that one would have been used for parents for the beginning of breeding work. But as far as we are yet to get a grant for the breeding or the breeder for this crop, what we can leverage on is those outstanding genotype that can satisfy your yield, that can satisfy different things that you are looking for in Bambara groundnuts. So that is that is why I'm promoting a yield, or promoting these varieties that we have worked on. Then the next one is cooking time. Is that?
Yes. Somebody asked a question on the cooking time. How long does it take to cook?
So it depends, and it depends on 2 major or 3 major factors. The first one is the harvest that you are talking about. Is it the one that you have kept, or the one that you went to buy in the market? If it's the one that you went to buy in the market, it means that they are dry seed. They are dried seed. But if you are harvesting and you are cooking, you know, it doesn't take much time like the dry seed that you bought from the market. For instance, if you go to the market now, you want to buy cowpea, or you want to buy your beans for cooking, you have different types of varieties of beans. You have one that can cook for like maybe 40-50 minutes. You understand? Based on the improvement on those beans, you can get various hours of cooking. likewise Bambara groundnut. If you are just harvesting, if it's from your farm, you will need to harvest freshly harvested one. When you cook it, it doesn't take much time like dry seed. So the dry seed will go to 2.5 hours before it can be cooked. Then the one that you are harvesting, maybe 1.5 hours, depends on the cooking method. Maybe you are using gas, you are using pressure cooker, you are using wood, different things. There are a lot of things. So the last thing that I want to say is that irrespective of the way you are cooking it, although we have to consider that as fuel, that's the rate of consumption of fuel, you want to be mindful of what goes into your food, the cost of preparing a plate of Bambara nuts. But at the same time, you need to consider the nutrients that you want to derive from Bambara. For instance, when you want to cook soybean too takes a lot of time. You can try it tonight. Soybean takes a lot of time before it can cook. But because of the nutrient that you want to gain from it, you will not be mindful of the process that you take before you get what you need in soybean. The next thing is that you can pre-soak your Bambara. If you know that you are eating your Bambara tomorrow, you can soak your Bambara like 24 hours. It will hasten the cooking time. It will hasten the cooking time. So that's what I can say about the number of hours.
Thank you, sir. You all agree with me that Dr. Ben has answered quite a lot, despite having presented for that number of minutes. While we want him to take 2 more questions, I have something I quickly want to chip in here, and that is there's a link on the chat box for attendance, and we will appreciate those online to please fill this sheet for us so as to be able to take note of those that were part of this thing. And this is supposed to go for the next 6 months, so we can take record of the consistency of people attending our webinar for the next 6 months, because it's all going to be about Bambara for the next remaining 5 months till the end of the year. Also, I'll be pasting any moment from now. I'll paste the link for you to request for seats, as the case may be. One is for a personal mail to the secretariat, and another one is the HTTP link for the request. I'll paste the 2 on the chat box, and you can pick the information from there. One to the secretariat and another one for the seed request, as we are all being asking for how you get to request for the seat, and also the attendance. Now, I want Mr. Toffa, if he's still here, to ask his question now. Mr. Toffa, are you there?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, I asked question before, and then I just want to come back with something. The issue of fertilizer requirement was not really answered, because I believe that some farmers down here, they believe that there is no need for fertilizer application for that particular crop. And then he also confirmed that, but he also mentioned about using NPK. But what is the recommended rate is what I'm asking, because we need to tell our farmers that maybe from the literature, I know he did not do study on the fertilizer requirement for the crop. Maybe from the literature, what could be the required recommendation rate? Maybe like maize, we said 120, 60, 60 for maize. And then for soybean, we normally recommend 40 kg P2O5 down here nuts. So what would be the requirement for Bambara if it really requires I know P is very important for the legumes. And then I asked about the limitation of the study. For me, I look at planting date as one of the limitation of this particular study, because he mentioned 2 critical things that are very, very important for that crop. One is the issue of photoperiodism, which the planting date aspect can really take care of that. And then secondly is the water stress also, as he mentioned, as one of the limitations. So if we can really conduct a study to find out the best planting date for the different accessions we have, that will really help, and also increase in fact, improve the study, or maybe in the future we can add planting date as one of the major limitation to this finding. That will take care of the issue of photoperiodism, whereby the late maturing varieties can be delayed in terms of planting, maybe can be planted late, and then the early maturing varieties can be planted earlier. So I'm just adding this as just to mention that it can be a very good thing that can be added as a limitation to this study. That's it. And then for the fertilizer requirement, what could be the recommended rate from the literature? So that we, in fact, we have a study we wanted to do recently, but wanted to know the required fertilizer for the crop.
Okay, thank you, sir. I remember that he mentioned the fertilizer requirement, but Dr. Ben, would you want to take that again?
Yes, I can do that, but maybe there was issues in the network. Maybe that was the reason why you did not hear what I said. I can repeat myself. In fact, I even gone to the level of what you can do when you get to your field. Now, like I said, that you need NPK, but your type of NPK that you need 10, 15, 15, 10 of N. Because if you can do, it would have been better. I don't know your place. I've not been there before, or even if I'm there, I've not done the soil analysis. If it's possible for you to conduct a soil analysis test to know the nutrients availability on your farm, it will be very good. It's just like once for all for now. When you are planting your Bambara, it still supplies some nutrients. It's put back some nutrients after harvest. But that notwithstanding, I was saying that if you have 150 kg, it can go for your 1 hectare of land. And how do you admit or apply this fertilizer? I told you of a match box that you feed a match box, not heap, now flatten. Then you put it between two stands of your Bambara. You are planting 25 to 30 centimeter apart. You can drop it in the middle of 15 centimeter, and you just dig a small hole and you put it. And I told you that you apply before flower, so that the nutrient can be distributed among the two plants, so that you not leave the nutrients untapped by the root of the plant. That was what I told you, or my response. Thank you.
Sir, I think at this point we would want to allow Dr. Faloye to take his leave, as the case may be. He has answered quite a lot, and we still have a lot in the people raising their answer, and we have to close this by 4 p.m. and we still have other things on the agenda. Dr. Ben, thank you so much for this presentation. It was detailed. You were able to do justice to most of the questions being asked, and we appreciate this. Thank you for the eye-opening, and I hope that everybody will join us to get more information on the Bambara groundnut for the next 5 months. We could send our emojis to Dr. Ben to appreciate the good work he had done in whatever form we want to send it. And we could also all clap our hands for this wonderful presentation he had done today. We appreciate you, Doctor. And I'm sure anytime we call you on Bambara issue, you will be there to answer us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, the moderator. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. So I am supposed to get
Thank you so much. Excellent presentation. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So right now we are supposed to go to a goodwill message from NIWAB, that is the Nigerian Women in Agricultural Business Cooperative Society. And this is supposed to be taken by Mrs. Keji Adeyemi, the second Vice President of Southwest Region of NIWAB. Mrs. Adeyemi, are you on? Are you there? We are waiting for your goodwill message from NIWAB.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, ma. Good afternoon, ma.
Good evening. Good afternoon, everybody. We really appreciate this opportunity and privilege to be part of this study. And we want to thank our doctor for the insightful and detailed presentation. Yes, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, we can
Hello?
hear you, ma. Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
So we appreciate society for Underutilized
Yes, we really
Legumes for
appreciate,
this
ma.
opportunity. We really appreciate. We thank you, Madam Moderator. We are really blessed, and we deeply appreciate this opportunity. We appreciate our members too across the length and breadth of the nation, in all the states. I'm here. I bring this goodwill message on behalf of my president. The president of NIWABU is unavoidably absent because she's outside the country undertaking another equally assignment. She loves to be here, but for the fact that she's still on another official duties. So I'm here representing her, representing the national executive and all the state executive and all our members across the 36 states plus the FCT. Yes, we want to appreciate our members too. All our members, NIWA members, are you here?
Yes.
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 NIWA,
Yes.
we
are
here.
Yes. We are
NIWA.
here.
Yes,
Yes.
so we expect that as we go on in this training, we expect that this training will we improve our agronomic practices in the plantation of Bambara farming, and it will scale our knowledge in Bambara nut plantation. We look forward to seeing this satisfied seed in increasing our yield as we go into this partnership with Society for Underutilized Legumes in collaboration with IITA and the likes. We thank you. We thank Dr. Faloye for the wonderful presentation. We thank IIT for the privilege of partnership, and we want to leverage on this to be able to, as our slogan said, we want to feed the nation in order to achieve the food security that is one of the cardinal points of this administration. We want to see that this training will upscale our activities in our yield, and we promise that in no time all our vocal persons details will be sent to the genetic manager for seamless coordination for this project, and all our details, the details of every focal persons in the state, and the geomapped land of all our members will be sent to the genetic and the gene bank and the genetic manager. We want to appreciate one more time the privilege, and just as one of us has rightly pointed out, we will be looking forward to the slides of this presentation and all other trainings that will come up, so that we will be able to go over and over for us to be able to perform optimally in our quest for this project. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. On behalf of our president, Lady Chrissy President, we thank you. And on behalf of all our members, we really appreciate it.
Thank you for the
Thank
good
you
message.
so much.
Now,
My name is KG Adeyemi, the Vice President 2 of representing the southern states of Nigerian Women in Agricultural Business Cooperative Society. Thank you so much. God bless.
Yes, ma. God bless you, ma. Thank you, ma. Yes, ma. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So just few announcements before we call it a day. We have just 2 minutes to end this meeting. Yeah, and the announcement is that for the researchers among us, we still have our Journal of Underutilized Legumes. You can publish in our Journal of Underutilized Legumes. You can also become our member, Society of Underutilized Legumes. And then there's going to be another webinar series next month for the rest of the year, like I've been mentioning, and we look forward to having everyone on at that time. We thank everyone here from the Nigerian Women in Agricultural Business Cooperative Society to participants from Ahmadu Bello University, Ajayi Crowder, Bayero University, Kano, all around Ebonyi State University, all farmers present here. We appreciate you for taking out your time to be among us this evening as we look forward to have you in our next webinar. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. We
Naiwa
appreciate
members,
you
thank
all.
you for
God
coming.
bless.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you next month.
Bye.
Thank
For representing us. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Your way is not open. It's not available.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
It's unavailable. Open it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Attendance, yeah. How do you feel the attendance now? You are unmuted.
Does anybody know where the attendance read is?
Do we have the form?
How about the attendance?